Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I hope that Dr. Indrawati is doing fine. In this presentation, my group has chosen AIRASIA as a public listed company to be analyzed according to their business level strategy and corporate level strategy.
Thank you. Now I will proceed with the background. AIRASIA or AAX Berhad was established as Fly Asian Express FAX in 2006 and went under comprehensive rebranding in 2007. The company engaged in a leading long-haul low-cost airline with a flight from Kuala Lumpur. AAX operates primarily in the Asia-Pacific region. Furthermore, AAX was the first Asian low-cost airline that has been given the approval to operate into the US by the Federal Aviation Administration. Next, for the vision, AAX wants to be the largest low-cost airline in Asia and serving the 3 billion people who are currently underserved with poor connectivity and high fares. While for its mission, it wants to be the best company to work for, whereby employees are treated as a part of a big family, and it creates a globally recognized Asian brand, and to maintain the highest quality product, embracing technology to reduce costs and enhance service levels. Next, we identified the business level and corporate level strategy of the company. For AIRASIA, the company used overall cost leadership and focus strategy to deliver value to customers while maintaining a competitive advantage. So firstly, the company's strategy is to be the leading long-haul, low-cost operation by having the lowest unit cost of any airline in the world. AIRASIA offers 70% lower than full-service airlines in the Asia Pacific by offering fast 30% to 50% lower than full-service carriers in order for the company to stimulate the new market demand. And to offer low-cost connecting services is the company's most important innovation, where it allows passengers to avoid immigration at Kuala Lumpur as they can buy fly-through and to have their baggage delivered directly to the final connection. In the services, passengers usually booked food in advance, which helps to minimize wastage and catering costs. Next business level strategy they use is focus strategy. Other than cost leadership strategy, the company also used focus strategy, where the operation of AAX is primarily in the Asia Pacific region. The company narrows competitive scope to a specific region in order to target customers who prefer popular long-haul destinations in this region, which includes Australia, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and India. To focus in this area, AAX marketed seats of their flight from Kuala Lumpur to many exciting destinations, including Melbourne, Gold Coast, Perth, Sydney, Fukuoka, Tokyo, and others. One of the reasons AAX focuses on this region is because Asia Pacific region is home to 7 of the world's top 10 busiest routes. According to Air Transport Association IATA data, international visitor demand into this region is forecast to grow each year.
First of all, corporate level strategy is known as a strategy that focuses on increasing a company's long-term revenue, profit, and market value by managing operation across multiple business. And this is also known as a long-term goals by any business to make the business having a competitive advantage among the other competitors. According to AIRASIA, we have identified that the company has diversified their business by having a joint venture. As for now, they have 2 joint ventures, which are Thai AIRASIA and Indonesia AIRASIA. So to briefly explain their growth strategy, we can tell that they are diversifying their business with the same industry, which is the airline industry. These 2 airline companies are specifically based in Thailand and Indonesia. Thai AirAsia is known as the joint venture of Malaysian long-haul, low-cost airline of AirAsia. Since when it has been a part of AirAsia, Thai AirAsia was formed as a joint venture to AirAsia on 18 September 2030 and is based in Bangkok. The possibility of this company has been chosen as one of the AirAsia growth strategies because of the main strategy of AirAsia itself, which is to open a multi-hub in Asia, specifically in Bangkok and Bali. Thailand has been aimed as a high potential for AIRASIA to gain a strategic advantage because Thailand is known as a fast-growing market that has a favorable conditions for the long-haul, low-cost operations. By that, that is the main reason why Thai AIRASIA has been chosen. So, by establishing a new hub, AIRASIA is able to offer a new services to the customers by providing a non-stop traveling to or from the Bangkok. As a result of the diversification, Thai AIRASIA will be cooperate together to focus on the destination in Australia, which is it is already known as an existing market of AIRASIA, and to North Asia in China, Japan, and Korea. Indonesia AIRASIA is known as a joint venture of Malaysian long-haul, low-cost airline of AIRASIA. Previously, it was known as the PT Indonesia AIRASIA Extra. Indonesia AIRASIA was formed as a joint venture to AIRASIA on 19 January 2015. Same goes to Thai AIRASIA. The diversification that has been made with Indonesia AIRASIA is to provide passengers with international scheduled air transportation, and it is one of the growth strategies. AIRASIA has taken the initiative to enter the new market based on the opportunities, and there is a high potential to grow the business since the competitors, which is Lion Air, is not interested in long-haul, low-cost model airline. Moreover, Indonesia AIRASIA has been targeted by AIRASIA to expand the business because the location of Bali as a new hub does not have any infrastructure constraint that may threaten the operation. As a result of diversification, Indonesia AIRASIA will be operated to leverage the market of Bali to Australia and Bali to North Asia as the sharing activities between AIRASIA. Next, based on the diversification that has been made, we have noticed that AIRASIA is having a related diversification from the horizontal relationship that has been established with Thai AIRASIA and Indonesia AIRASIA. This is because the two joint ventures is known from the same industry, which is airline industry, and they are exercising the related activities to AIRASIA. Moreover, they are sharing the tangible and intangible resources such as fuel hedging and marketing activities as the initiative to minimize the operating costs and to leverage the brand image of AIRASIA.
Next, we can also differentiate the business level and the corporate level strategy they use. So for the cost leadership and the business growth, cost leadership, AIRASIA short-term goals to compete in the market and the strategy successfully be in place and well recognized. And for business growth, AIRASIA long-term growth to expand the business, and the diversification help AIRASIA to be recognized as long-haul, low-fare airline in Asia. Aside from that, we can distinguish between their focus strategy and the joint venture. The company narrows its focus on airline services to provide to a specific demographic, resulting in a narrower focus. This is capable of monitoring and improving in the specific focus, while the joint venture, as previously stated, is a diversification strategy to share and get access for better resources.
Next, we'll discuss how AIRASIA differentiating by its strategies and gain a benefit from the business and growth strategies with the challenges by having competitors. In this topic, we have chosen the Jetstar airline to be differentiated with AIRASIA. Firstly, both airlines are known as low-cost carrier, but AIRASIA provide long-haul flights only, while Jetstar focus on both short and long-haul flights. Besides, the existence of the Jetstar may threaten AIRASIA since both airlines are serving Australian markets and they are competing with each other with a different aircraft. But AIRASIA has gained the advantage in this competitive market since their growth strategies of having a multi-hub help them a lot.
Hi, I'm Nadia Hazira. Next, we will look at the key assumptions that AIRASIA uses underlying its business and corporate level strategy. So before making a decision, businesses make assumptions about what they believe to be true. In business, assumptions are made when developing a strategy, planning, and making decisions. These hypotheses are commonly referred to as disclosure of uncertainty and risk. In most cases, business is conducted in an uncertain environment, requiring the use of assumptions in order to proceed with the strategies. Assumptions are documented to aid in the detection of threats. These are the assumptions made for AIRASIA after analyzing its business and corporate level strategy. The first one is AIRASIA assumes there is a high demand for a budget airlines transportation services in Asia Pacific region. AIRASIA pursue cost leadership strategy. The company targets to be the leading long-haul, low-cost operation by having the lowest unit cost of any airline in the world. To continually offer cheap airfares, AIRASIA anticipates that a lot of people will opt to buy their low-cost ticket when choosing airline service transportation. AIRASIA also uses this assumption with their focus strategy. Under this strategy, the company narrows to a specific region in order to target consumers who prefer long-haul destinations in this region, which includes Australia, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and India. According to Air Transport Association IATA data, international visitor demand into this region is forecast to grow each year. The next assumption is AIRASIA assumes arrivals airfares for long-haul air services remain constant. In order for AIRASIA to remain cost leadership strategy in the airline industry, they analyze the arrivals average airfares price and offer customers with lower prices. Through this assumption, AIRASIA can protect themselves from the arrivals and make it hard for new entrants to enter the long-haul, low-cost air transportation market. Last but not least, AIRASIA expects the cooperation from AirAsia Airlines company outside Malaysia. In order to maintain their cost leadership strategy, one of the best ways for them to try to maintain their position as a long-haul, low-cost leader is to expand their business in these countries, where they already have a strong brand name and enormous potential. This assumption is also used when AirAsia as company enhanced their company's corporate level strategies. They expanded the business through the joint venture with another company outside Malaysia. They have diversified by incorporating a joint venture relationship with Thai AAS and Indonesia AAS, which is from the same airline industry.
Now, I will be presenting about AIRASIA's life cycle. The first stage is introduction. In this stage, AIRASIA has introduced and promoted themselves as a leading company in a long-haul, low-cost airline, and it has made AIRASIA become the first low-cost carrier ticketless service airline. The second stage is growth, where the sales of AIRASIA started to increase as they managed to build the brand recognition as the long-haul, low-cost airline in the industry. AIRASIA also has many competitors such as Lion Air, Jeju Air, and Adam Air. In fact, it is arguably that the most successful airline in the region is Malaysia's AirAsia. The third stage is maturity stage, where AirAsia must determine which strategy is the best for them to stand out from the competitors to expand the market share. And it is due to the slow demand growth. Whichever company that gains a large market share, it is expected to gain the competitive advantage. AirAsia also has done some strategy in business and corporate level. Last stage is the decline stage, where AirAsia sales and profit is expected to decline gradually due to the industry consolidation, and this situation usually happens because of the business environment. Next, AirAsia is assumed to be in maturity stage because the airline industry is a large and growing industry. However, it has not experienced any consistent growth or decline over the past few years, and the industry is fairly concentrated and the entry is fairly low. These are the signs that the airline industry is in the maturity stage of the industry life cycle. And we assume that AirAsia is in maturity stage as referred to the indicators. For instance, AIRASIA has involved in a price competition where the company implement the low-cost strategy. In addition, AIRASIA has promoted themselves as a low-cost long-haul airplane, which can affect the competitors' pricing strategy indirectly. Now, we will take a look at the justification of AIRASIA strategy. To facilitate the transition of long-haul operation, AIRASIA has implemented a cost leadership strategy, which is low-cost strategy. In this strategy, AIRASIA must maintain a constant effort at lowering the cost relative to the competitor's cost and create a value for the customer. One of the examples of this action that represent the strategy is when AIRASIA decided to target customers with growing disposable income rather than the wealthy class customer. The affordable ticket were inclusive of seats and airline taxes has given the chance to everyone from different backgrounds to ride an airplane. And AIRASIA also prioritized on the number of tickets sold compared to the profit they made per ticket. This meant that AIRASIA gained a relatively small profit for each ticket and gained a high number in the sales of the ticket seat. Apart from that, as the fastest in the region, AIRASIA also had implemented a quick turnaround of 25 minutes, and this quick turnaround has made it possible for AIRASIA to lower the cost as they will have not to spend a longer time on land, hence allowing them to benefit from more flights in a day. With this method, it is possible for them to load the airplane with a new cart that is full with food, beverage, and high-quality merchandise that will be sold in the flight later on. Lastly, AIRASIA also has gained a favorable position compared to their competitors as they successfully claimed the title as the cheapest airline in the international flight. We will move on to the financial highlight of AIRASIA for the year 2020/2021. From this, we can conclude that the financial performance of AIRASIA is getting worse. And the reason why I say like that is because there is no sign of improvement, especially with the current situation of pandemic. And the travel restriction has surely affected the sale of the ticket, and thus AIRASIA cannot gain a high revenue. As we can see, revenue of year 2020 is significantly lower compared to the year of 2019. And this is because of the hibernation of schedule where the flight has been cancelled. Apart from that, a large sum of money is actually being spent on the provision of termination, and it is because of the proposed debt restructuring plan. Next, we will take a look at AIRASIA restructuring plan. As we all know, AIRASIA has suffered loss in financial year 2018, and it has become worse actually since financial year 2020 due to the pandemic, where all the scheduled aircraft has been cancelled because of the travel and border restriction. From the current situation, it is expected to be difficult for AIRASIA to return to their normal position of pre-COVID. And this situation actually has forced AIRASIA to enter into the debt restructuring mode in August of last year. And as what the CEO has mentioned, that airline industry is struggling to survive in the pandemic, thus the only option that AIRASIA has to maintain their sustainability is through the restructuring mode. And this approach is believed to help them maintain their position as a market leader of long-haul, low-cost flying airplanes.
After adopting the low-cost model strategy, AIAX was successful in being one of the airlines that offers the first long-haul flight at low cost. It all started when Tony Fernandez recognized that low-cost air travel in Asia could be the catalyst for connecting people better. Before AIAX was established, the established players such as Southwest, US Airways, Ryanair, and EasyJet used small planes doing short-haul regional flights. Long-haul had not been done successfully before, and Tony Fernandez thought there must be a way of capturing the growth we saw in short-haul and translating it into a long-haul model. Shareholders were not convinced, however, and thought it was a risky idea. Tony Fernandez worked ahead and convinced of his intuition, and AIRASIA was formed as a separate company from AirAsia with private equity money and with Osman running instead as its first CEO. AIAX has a responsible business model, which is that flying can be guilt-free. AIAX considers emissions resulting from burning jet fuel as a direct cost to the airline, in which AIAX pay for the emission as a direct consequences of buying the fuel. So from 2011 to 2013, during its most successful years, AIAX had gained a lot of achievement. AIAX had also consistently was voted as having the world's best low-cost airline premium cabin for 11 consecutive years at the 2019 Skytrax World Airline Awards held during the Paris Air Show. It shows that majority of AIAX customer is very satisfied for their services. Next, we look into how outsourcing helps contribute value to AIRASIA. The basic concept of outsourcing is occurring when a firm decides to utilize other firms to perform value-creating activities that were previously performed in-house. In other words, it's an activity that AIAX is perfectly capable of doing, but chooses to have someone else perform for cost and quality. So AIRASIA has a high degree of outsourcing, which is common theme within the airline industry. So based on the news article, we can summarize that AIRASIA extended its partnership with Unilot Aviation Solutions, which is the leading global provider of outsourced unit load device (ULD) management and repair solution. Basically, AirAsia outsources the supply, maintenance, and repair of containers and pallets that meet its exponential passengers and cargo growth. So one of the ways outsourcing contributes value to AAX is that outsourcing gives cost-saving benefits. Oftentimes, in-house development is costly than outsourcing because it needs a lot of research and development. Since AAX is not competent in IT system, outsourcing can reduce costs in IT system activity, which in turn reduce operating costs. Secondly, cargo operation or other aviation service can be complex to handle, so outsource helps improve efficiencies and maintain service quality by having firms that are more knowledgeable and skilled to handle the activity. So this way, Asia can avoid idle capacity and focus on their own capabilities. Lastly, outsourcing helps reduce financial risk. Since AAX would spend their entire financial resources on a complex activity, they can focus scarce resources on the areas where it holds a competitive advantage. So AAX will be able to generate a different value from its competitors in a shorter time by outsourcing. In conclusion, by utilizing the business and corporate level strategy, AirAsia became one of the top low-cost airlines after AirAsia. AAX was voted as having the world's best cost airline premium cabin for 7 consecutive years, while the AirAsia Group was named the world's best low cost. At a time when not many airlines offer long-haul flights at a low cost, AAX's clever use of focus and diversification strategy by setting up joint ventures in Indonesia and Thailand has opened up the market for AirAsia to thrive across Asia. This cost leadership strategy AIAX adopted also allows them to increase the market size, reduce competition from existing competitors, and lower threats from new entrants. AIAX was quite successful during its early operation days. However, these strategies do not always guarantee a smooth outcome because other factors may need to be considered. Currently, in 2021, AirAsia has suffered a loss due to the impact of COVID-19. As the revenue declined, they could not cover their debt, which increased their operating costs. But the strategy adopted by AIAX had managed to make AirAsia one of the top long-haul low-cost airlines after its parent company. They had difficulty in adapting to the changing business environment. As such, AIAX still needs to make further improvement and appropriate ways to settle its debt and increase their revenue.